We must have read in previous class about different kinds of ovarian tumor. Just name ovarian tumor are of different types depending on the origin. If it is arising from the epithelium of the ovary, it is epithelial ovarian tumor like serous cyst adenoma or mucinous cyst adenoma. And if arises from germ cell, it is a kind of germ cell tumor. It is a most common germ cell tumor, ovarian teratoma. And one is your sex cord, sex cord stromal tumor, that is Renvisa cell tumor, Satori Leydig cell tumor. These are three different categories of the tumor. Today we will focus on this dermoid cyst, which is also known as ovarian teratoma. Why it is known as ovarian teratoma? Terato and oma. Terato means monster and oma means swelling. Monster swelling, because it is very not good looking, very bad looking tumor. That's why earlier in ancient time it used to be called as monster swelling or teratoma. Nowadays we normally call it as dermoid cyst. If you see any USG report or any MRI report, they will write dermoid cyst. Most common used term nowadays. Now coming on to the main dermoid cyst or ovarian teratoma. This is one specimen. I will show you later on details of this. These are different types: mature, immature, cystic, and solid. And malignant transformation is very less than 2%. And one is immature. There are two main variety: mature and immature. Okay, and one is monodermal, highly specialized. We are first. This is the most common mature cystic teratoma, dermoid cyst. It is the most common germ cell neoplasm. Well differentiated derivatives are from the any two of the three germ layers. What are the three germ layers? Uh, any two. Mostly it is mostly all the three germ layers. But in some of the teratomas, at least two. I mean, the criteria is at least two of the three germ layers should be present. Okay. Younger age group, it involves younger age group. And if we see in comparison to the serous and mucinous, they are more common in the premenopausal or postmenopausal age group. Okay, that is 40s, 50s, 60s. And it is more common in the 20s and 30s, earlier age group. It is mostly asymptomatic. There is no complaint in the patient. She will have it for many years, but she will not give any complaint or vague complaint. It's very slow growing and bilateral in about 10. Mostly it is unilateral. Mostly it is unilateral. What is the gross appearance? It is mostly unilocular in 88%. Most of the time it is unilocular. It is filled with sebaceous material. Okay. Squamous epithelium lines the walls of the cyst. Hyalinized ovarian stroma covers the external surface. Ovarian tissue is on the external surface. Inside is all developed from the germ cell. Hair follicles, skin glands are present, muscle can be present, and other fat tissue can be present. Teeth can be there. This is a gross appearance of mature cystic teratoma. This is not a very good specimen, but we don't have a proper specimen because it was done laparoscopically. That's why it is distorted. But if it is done by per-abdomen approach or laparotomy approach, you will take out the entire specimen and sac. So this is the entire specimen. This is the mature cystic teratoma, okay, or mature dermoid cyst. These are the, what are these? You can hairs, yes. Common tissues in dermoid cyst are mesodermal tissues. कौन से? Fat, bone, cartilage, muscles can be there. Teeth can be there in 30% cases. Endodermal tissue, GI, bronchial, thyroid tissue can be present, and adipose tissue, and sebaceous secretion is there. That is mostly 60 to 75% of the cyst. Now, what are the different criteria for the diagnosis? How we can say that this is dermoids, this is not serous cyst adenoma, or this is not mucinous cyst adenoma? What is Rokitansky nodule? बोलो. हैं? बोलो. What is Rokitansky nodule? पढ़ाया जा चुके? बोलो. हो गया? क्लास में मोबाइल नहीं, मोबाइल क्लास के बाद. Okay, better. It is an echogenic area usually demonstrating sound attenuation owing to sebaceous material hair within the cyst cavity. Multiple thin echogenic bands caused by hair in the cyst cavity. Rokitansky nodule I will tell you later on. Or there are multiple strands or hyperechoic strands you will see in the cyst that are usually caused by hair. And the Rokitansky nodule is a solidified area in the cyst, dermoid cyst, and usually hairs, teeth, ectodermal tissue arises from the Rokitansky nodule. It is a characteristic feature of the Rokitansky of the dermoid cyst. This is normally a USG finding, or you can see in MRI or even in the gross specimen. Rokitansky nodule is a raised protuberance projecting into the cyst cavity like this. This is most of the hair typically arises from the disc protuberance. When bone or teeth are present, they tend to locate within this nodule. Mainly ectodermal or say mesodermal part of bone, teeth, or hairs can be seen arising from this nodule. It is a solidified area in the cyst. This is the USG picture of the Rokitansky nodule. This is one hyperechoic area in the cyst. All this is anechoic, that is blackish, and this is whitish. This is hyperechoic area. This is known as Rokitansky nodule. It is the characteristic feature of dermoid cyst. This is the hyperechoic area. This is the Rokitansky nodule. This is one more picture of teratoma or dermoid cyst. These are the hairs. This is the sebaceous material or fat tissue, and here this is the fat tissue. This is the sebaceous material, and these are also hairs. These are hairs. And in some of the cases, thyroid tissue can be present also, muscles can be present also, cartilage can be present, bone, some part of bone can be present. It is very bad looking tumor. Mature solid had no unfilled immature components. Here all the components are mature. Like here you have seen this is mature component, tooth that is mature component, bone that is mature component. There is no immature component in the mature teratoma or dermoid cyst. These are mainly most commonly benign, corresponding to grade 0 immature teratoma. Radiologically indistinguishable from the immature teratomas and occur in similar age group like 20 to 30 years. Fat may be visible in the MRI imaging or the CT. This is the mature cystic teratoma. These are the fat globules you can clearly see. This is the muscle. This is the Rokitansky nodule, and here you can see a part of fat tissue here, and this might be cartilage. This whitish structure. Immature teratoma demonstrate clinically malignant behavior. It is much less common. 1% of ovarian teratomas affects younger age group. Mean age is 20 years. Histologically distinct by presence of immature components. No of the components are mature. All are immature components like ectoderm, endoderm. These are in the immature stage. Usually present as perforated. This is a picture of immature teratoma. Here you can't distinguish any mature component is there. There is no proper hair present, no proper fat tissue is present. All are immature components. Clear-cut demarcation is not there in immature. The initial manifestation of immature teratomas are typically, these are larger as compared to mature. Mature are usually 7 to 8 centimeter. Very less commonly 10 centimeter can be there, but immature are larger, 14 to 25 centimeter. It may be solid or have prominent solid component with cystic elements, usually filled with serous or mucinous fluids, or may be filled with fatty sebaceous material. This is one of the picture of immature teratoma. You can't distinguish between the components. Other types are the monodermal teratomas. These are composed predominantly or solely of one tissue type, like there are three main types of ovarian monodermal tumors: stroma ovariae, ovarian carcinoid tumor, and tumors with neural differentiation. You must have heard about this stroma ovariae in pathology. It is composed predominantly or solely of mature thyroid tissue. Such tight tissue can occur as a minor component of mature cystic teratomas, accounts for approximately 3% of all mature teratomas. In rare cases, thyrotoxicosis has been seen as a complication of stroma overi. Gross appearance, amber colored thyroid tissue. This is not important for you all, but just for namesake, like monodermal tumors are also present. It is a kind of monodermal teratomas, that is stroma overi. It is a type of ovarian teratoma, but it is monodermal origin. And what teratoma? At least it contains two of the germ cells, or it originates at least from the two of the germ cells. It is originates from only one type. Okay, that's why it is monodermal. Another is carcinoma tumor. You don't need to go into the details. Mainly, we will focus on this dermoid cyst only. Acha, what are the patient? What will be the complaints of the patient? क्या complaint लेके आएगा patient? The minus marking हो जाएगा वाइवा में -10, -20. Huh? This is mature. We are focusing on the dermoid cyst or the mature cystic teratoma. These are not much larger. So very rarely. Swelling is very rare complaint. I told you it is mostly asymptomatic. There is no complaint, or there will be vague abdominal pain. And কি বলছে BMR BMR পড়ে যাবে মানে BMR বেসিক মেটাবলিক রেট बढ़े যাবে কেন thyroid tissue, we are not focusing on thyroid tissue. We are focusing on mature cystic teratoma, dermoid cyst, that topic. That is a kind of type of teratoma. We are not focusing on that. You have to you need to know only this one: ovarian teratoma, mature cystic teratoma, or dermoid cyst. That is for just for your. You need to know the types, but you don't need to go into the detail. Okay, for gynae purpose, you have to just know this one for the SGD purpose, for your specimen, what you will be asked in your viva. You need to know dermoid cyst mainly. Okay. Complaints बोलो और क्या complain होगा? हाँ? Abdominal pain, bleeding, maybe the irregular bleeding PB, and abdominal pain. Why the pain will occur? Why? अभी तो मतलब asymptomatic है, कोई complaint patient को कुछ नहीं होगा, तो why the pain will occur? ठीक बोला pain हो सकता है, क्यों होगा? Why? Because one of the major complication of dermoid cyst is torsion. Why torsion occurs? Because it is a heavy tumor. Okay, इतने बड़े बड़े teeth होगा किसी ट्यूमर में, एक में तुम्हारा सेरस में मान लो जस्ट फ्लूइड है, एक ट्यूमर में तुम्हारा बोन है, hair है, tooth है, that will be more heavier, or this one? Which one will be heavier? Obviously this one. It is a heavy tumor. जब भी एक heavy कोई tumor है और long stalk है, it tend to undergo torsion. That's why torsion is very common in dermoid cyst. It is the most common complication of dermoid cyst. Among all the ovarian tumor, ovarian cyst, torsion is most common in dermoid cyst because it is a heavy tumor. Okay, that's why patient can complain of pain abdomen, a severe pain abdomen, acute pain abdomen. If any patient presents to you with acute pain abdomen, एक मान लो 25 years female comes to you, she is married for like say 3 years and she is having severe pain abdomen. तो what can you suspect? क्या DD बनाओगे? क्या हो सकता है पेशेंट को? What will you do first? यूजी होल अपडेशन कराओगे? इमरजेंसी पेशेंट आया है, यूजी कराने भेज दोगे? पेशेंट पेन से वो हो रहा है, चिल्ला रहा है, तुमको मैनेज, यू फर्स्ट यू हैव टू मैनेज ना, क्या करोगे? You are an intern or you are an RMO posted in emergency. One patient presents to you, 25 years female, married for 3 years. She has not yet conceived. She is P0 plus 0, not yet conceived. She is not. You don't know about the pregnancy. So what you will do? She is having severe pain, and her last LNP was around 1.5 months back. Yes. सबसे लेकिन first करोगे, you will measure the pulse, BP, you will take the vitals, okay, if she is stable or not. अगर patient unconscious है तो obviously you will not straight away go for UPT. तो first you will see pulse, vitals, सब देखोगे stable है कि नहीं. If patient is having tachycardia, and patient is having when you are doing call abdomen examination, there is acute pain, मतलब you are touching it and there is guarding rigidity and acute pain in abdomen, say right side, right side में तुमने palpate किया, right iliac fossa में severe tenderness है, तो उस केस में और tachycardia, that is matching, then you will go for UPT, urine pregnancy test. If that comes out to be positive, तो क्या हो सकता है, क्या DD हो जाएगा तुम्हारा? 25 years female, no living issue, amenorrhea for 1.5 months, UPT positive, या से फेंट पॉजिटिव, तो क्या होगा? फेंट पॉजिटिव है अगर, हाँ SCG तो तुम्हारे सामने है, उतना टाइम नहीं, यू डोंट हैव सो मच टाइम इमरजेंसी में, तो यू हैव टू मैनेज, यू हैव टू डिसाइड क्या करना है इस पेशेंट का, उसका पेन कम करना है और डायग्नोज करना है व्हाट इट इज. एक्टोपिक प्रेगनेंसी नहीं सुना है? तो it can be ectopic pregnancy if UPT is positive. That's why it is a norm in gynae and obs. If any female in reproductive age group presents to you with acute abdomen or pain abdomen or heavy menstrual bleeding or history of amenorrhea, you have to do UPT, urinary pregnancy test, because you have to rule out ectopic pregnancy in any case. अगर तुमने भूल से वो डायग्नोस छोड़ दिया, मतलब कि तुमने यू आर अ गायनेकोलॉजिस्ट और तुमने यूपीटी नहीं किया, हाँ, और पेशेंट डाइड बिकॉज ऑफ द रप्चर एक्टोपिक प्रेगनेंसी, यू विल बी सूड. ठीक है, तो दिस इज द, इफ यू आर नॉट इवन गायनेकोलॉजिस्ट, यू आर इन एनी फील्ड और इवन यू आर इन मेडिकल ऑफिसर ऑल्सो और RMO ऑल्सो, you have to do UPT. You have to rule out pregnancy in that case. First rule out pregnancy, then further things come. Because many times when we are doing emergency duty in gynae, many times calls comes from surgery OPD or surgery emergency, that one patient is admitted, they are not able to find out what is the cause of that pain, and they were planning of laparotomy for like perforated, they are suspecting perforation of the gut or perforation of the ileum or colon, but when you went, you did UPT and it was positive. She was straight away a case of ectopic pregnancy. It happens, and it had happened in the past and happens regularly. That's why it is very easy diagnosis. First you do UPT, you clinically examine the patient, you can rule out ectopic pregnancy. Okay, it is very easy. But you have to do UPT, you have to rule out pregnancy. Then go on to further diagnosis. Okay. Suppose 25 years females, P0 plus 0, she is married for 3 years, but UPT was negative. She has tachycardia. So what will you suspect? And then she gave you a previous USG, like, or she tells मेरा 1 साल पहले अल्ट्रासाउंड हुआ था, उसमें एक सिस्ट था, ठीक है, लेकिन डॉक्टर ने बोला था कोई बात नहीं है, थोड़ा नॉर्मल छोटा साइज का है, कुछ दिक्कत नहीं है. So what will you suspect? Ovarian torsion. Okay, ovarian torsion, whichever type of cyst may be there. If it is, it has become larger and patient is having acute pain abdomen, it can be a torsion, ovarian torsion, because many times, because if you are in emergency, you have to treat the patient. Many times if UPT is negative but acute pain is there, we have to open the patient. You have to find out the cause, what it is there. A negative laparotomy, what can happen कि कुछ भी नहीं निकलेगा, ठीक हो सकता है, तुम इमरजेंसी में you don't have ultrasound, अगर रात में 2 बजे पेशेंट आता है तब अल्ट्रासाउंड नहीं होता है. अभी के टाइम तो अवेलेबल है, बट इन व्हेन वी वर डूइंग PG, अल्ट्रासाउंड वाज नॉट अवेलेबल इन द नाइट टाइम, इट वाज ओनली अवेलेबल इन द डे टाइम. तो हम लोग रात में 2 बजे पेशेंट आया है, शी इज इन शॉक, BP तुम्हारा 80/60 है या 80/50 है और या पल्स पैल्पेबल ही नहीं है, पेशेंट इज पेल, तो वी हैव टू मैनेज द पेशेंट ना, यू हैव टू सेव द पेशेंट. अल्ट्रासाउंड नहीं है उस समय, क्या करोगे? यू हैव टू ओपन द पेशेंट. ओपन करने के बाद क्या हो सकता है कुछ ना निकले, या कुछ और निकल जाए. तो नेगेटिव लेप्रोटमी इज बेटर देन नो लेप्रोटमी. अगर तुमने एक्टोपिक प्रेगनेंसी छोड़ दिया या ओवेरियन टॉर्जन छोड़ दिया, पेशेंट को ऑपरेट नहीं किया, पेशेंट डाइड इन द मॉर्निंग, उससे बेटर है कि तुम ऑपरेट करो, नेगेटिव काउंसलिंग करके ऑपरेट करो. अगर कुछ मिल, ऑब्वियसली 80% केसेस में जो तुमने डायग्नोस किया है वही मिलता है, कुछ केसेस में 10%, 5% केसेस में होता है कि नेगेटिव लेप्रोटमी तो कुछ नहीं होता है, या एडेशन होता है, एडेशन की वजह से पेशेंट को पेन हो रहा होता है, या इन्फेक्शन की वजह से पेशेंट को पेन हो रहा होता है। पर एक्यूट पेन इज ऑलवेज अ इंडिकेशन कि तुमको ऑपरेट करना है। अगर पेशेंट इज नॉट हेमोडायनेमिकली स्टेबल तो तुमको थोड़ा स्टेबल करके पेशेंट को ऑपरेट करना पड़ेगा टू सेव द पेशेंट, बिकॉज सेविंग द पेशेंट इज मोर इम्पॉर्टेंट। ठीक। और हाँ, मेडिकली भी करेक्ट रहना पड़ेगा, यू हैव टू एक्सप्लेन द पेशेंट। अगर यूपीटी नेगेटिव है तो पेशेंट से पार्टी से पूरा काउंसलिंग कराओगे कि ये भी हो सकता है, ये भी हो सकता है। इफ यू आर विलिंग देन वी विल गो फॉर द सर्जरी, इफ यू आर नॉट विलिंग वी विल नॉट गो फॉर द सर्जरी, बट यू विल हैव टू टेक द रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी। पेशेंट डाइज इफ यू डिनाई द सर्जरी। ठीक है, इतना काउंसलिंग करो। नॉर्मली पेशेंट पार्टी और पेशेंट गेट्स रेडी फॉर द सर्जरी नॉर्मली, और 80% केसेस में कुछ ना कुछ नहीं, नॉर्मली ओवेरियन टॉर्जन निकलता ही है। अगर obviously there is history of ovarian cyst। ठीक है, now coming on to your हाँ सिम्टम्स हो गए, और कैसे इन्वेस्टिगेशन क्या करोगे केस में। सिम्टम्स हो गया, पेन एब्डोमेन हुआ, मेसेंजरिटी हो सकता है, हाँ यूएसजी, और सीटी से पहले कुछ और नहीं करोगे। Normally, dermatitis is diagnosed in ultrasound only in very less cases, or if age is more, then you will go, you will think for CT or MRI। और क्या करोगे, और कुछ इन्वेस्टिगेशन, बेसिक इन्वेस्टिगेशन नहीं कराओगे, ब्लड ग्रुपिंग क्या कराओगे, यूएसजी और हाँ हाँ क्या बोलो, हाँ हाँ हाँ, और ब्लड ग्रुपिंग ऑब्वियसली, अगर तुमने इमरजेंसी सर्जरी कर रहे हो तो ब्लड रिक्वायरमेंट होगा, ब्लड ग्रुपिंग, और सीबीसी, ब्लड शुगर, अगर डायबिटिक है कि नहीं है, ब्लड शुगर, नॉर्मल ब्लड इन्वेस्टिगेशन बोलो जो सर्जरी में कराओगे पहले, बेसिक इन्वेस्टिगेशन पहले पता है कि नहीं, सर्जरी के प्री ऑप क्या कराते हैं, हाँ और क्या कराते हैं, सीबीसी, ब्लड शुगर, ब्लड ग्रुपिंग, हाँ हाँ ये सर, और PTINR, और HIV, HBCG टू सेव योरसेल्फ, हाँ, एंड SCV। और क्या कराओगे इस इन स्पेसिफिक टू ओवेरियन ट्यूमर, क्या कराओगे, कुछ ट्यूमर मार्कर सुना है, तो क्या कराओगे ट्यूमर मार्कर, हाँ वेरी गुड, और हाँ बायोप्सी, अभी तो सर्जरी नहीं हुआ है, बायोप्सी कैसे कर लोगे, ओवेरियन ट्यूमर बायोप्सी नहीं करते हम लोग, नो। और क्यों नहीं करते बायोप्सी, ओवेरियन ट्यूमर बायोप्सी नहीं करते, क्यों नहीं करते, भाई biopsy not an investigation, and we don't do biopsy in ovarian tumor, any kind of ovarian tumor, we don't go for biopsy or FNAC। why, earlier it used to be done but nowadays we don't do। हाँ benign बोले ना, cancerous बोले, because any tumor can be cancerous, that will be confirmed on HP examination only, that is cancerous or not। but if any tumor is cancerous, and by chance by doing FNAC or doing biopsy you spill the content in the abdomen, there is chance of recurrence, there is chance of metastasis, that's why we don't go for biopsy or FNAC in any ovarian tumor। okay, और क्या ट्यूमर मार्कर, SCG करोगे, LDH करोगे, हाँ ये सब ट्यूमर मार्कर्स है। और क्या करते हो ट्यूमर मार्कर, CA19-9, CA, these are different tumor markers we go we do in case of suspected ovarian cancer। okay, this is very important। बाकी तो normal बोल लोगे, ये specially बोलना होगा इसमें। any pain abdomen can be there depending on the size, normally size is 8 to 10 centimeter, there can be compression, dyspareunia। what it will do, AFP, because it is germ cell tumor, AFP, SCG, these are the specific, and C125 just not, it is not specific to dermoid cyst, but it can be done to rule out other tumor, and CA19-9 and CA, because before you have not done the surgery, SP report is not available, before that you are not sure it is dermoid or not, it can be some other tumor also, That's why to rule out different tumors like serous cyst adenocarcinoma or mucinous cyst adenocarcinoma or your dysgerminoma, you have to do these tumor markers. Okay. In USG, different terms are there which are specific to dermoid cyst, like Rokitansky nodule. I told you earlier. There's echogenic area. There's tip of iceberg sign, and then CT fat attenuation may be there with or without calcification. And MRI sebaceous component has a very high signal for T1. A fat attenuation will be in T2. This is Rokitansky nodule. Okay, this one is Rokitansky nodule. This is whole is dermoid cyst, and this is just the nodule, hyperechoic area. And this is the tip of iceberg sign. Okay, you can see the upper part, but you can't see the lower part clearly. Why you can't see the lower part? Huh? You can see the upper part, but you lower part you can't see. It is unclear. That's why it is known as tip of iceberg. It looks like this. You can see this part, but this part is unclear. That's why it is known as tip of iceberg sign. This is a typical tip of iceberg sign. Why it occurs? Because when ultrasound waves goes, this is the hard structure. Like suppose this is tooth or this is bone. So the waves are not able to penetrate deeper than that. It gets reflected from that area only. That's why lower part is not visible in the ultrasound if any hard structure is present. Okay. Suppose you are seeing any GB calculi, gallbladder calculi, उसमें देखना एक shadowing होगा, acoustic shadow, we call it as acoustic shadow. तो that is common in GB calculi में कोई देखना ultrasound में होगा, calculi जहाँ पे होगा, calculi के just नीचे एक shadow होगा, because you will not be able to, sometimes you will not be able to see the whole of the calculi, because बस क्योंकि वहाँ से acoustic shadow start हो जाता है, because of the reflection of the waves, okay, ultrasound waves. Suppose same thing occurs here because it is a solid component, or like tooth or bone can be there. There is reflection of the waves and acoustic shadow is there. This is the acoustic shadow, and this is the acoustic shadow. This is the acoustic shadow. That's why it is known as tip of iceberg sign in dermoid cyst. This is a Rokitansky nodule. These are the calcification, and these are the fat. I told you the most common complication is ovarian torsion. It occurs in about 3 to 16% of ovarian teratoma. Rupture is very less common. Why rupture is less common in dermoid cyst? Why it is less common? Because wall is very thick. Wall is very thick. एक तो तुम्हारा ectodermal tissues भी है वहाँ पे, squamous का nice tissue भी है. Then ovarian tissue is protecting on the top. That's why the wall is very thick. Rupture is very uncommon. Only 1 to 4% rupture occurs, and it can cause peritonitis. Malignant transformation is very rare. Only 1 to 2%. ये बात याद रखना. It is very less commonly bilateral. It is very less commonly malignant. It is a most commonly benign tumor. Okay. Usually in squamous cell carcinoma, or rarely into endodermal sinus tumor. It can undergo malignant transformation into squamous cell carcinoma. Superimposed infection can be very rare, 1%. अच्छा, what is the treatment or management? What will you do? क्या करोगे? कोई patient आया है, suppose एक जो last case जो मैंने 25 years female is, she is married, there is no living issue, there is dermoid cyst, or say 10 centimeter dermoid cyst, and she is having mild pain, not severe pain. What will you do? Acute pain है तो you will obviously go for surgery. Mild pain है, just हल्का weak pain है, there is no proper pain abdomen or any menstrual irregularity. What will you do? क्या करोगे इस पेशेंट में? कैसे मैनेज करोगे? मेडिसिन रूटीन लेके छोड़ दोगे? हाँ, पेन किलर लेके कंजर्वेटिव मैनेजमेंट करोगे, कि हार्मोनल मैनेजमेंट दोगे या सर्जिकल मैनेजमेंट करोगे? क्या करोगे? 3 ऑप्शन है. हार्मोनल, हार्मोनल कम जाएगा, क्या करोगे? कंजर्वेटिव, ABC ऑप्शन है, MCQ आया तुम्हारे पास. कंजर्वेटिव, हार्मोनल या सर्जरी? सर्जरी, वेरी गुड, सर्जरी. even if malignant transformation is very rare, but because it undergo torsion and it can interfere with the fertility of the patient, that's why we will remove the tumor. Okay, any dermoid tumor diagnosed, we have to remove that, because other complications are very high chances, because the torsion most commonly occurs in pregnancy and purpurium. पपीर में प्रेगनेंसी में क्या होता है कि यूट्रस बिकम्स द एब्डोमिनल ऑर्गन, जो तुम्हारा सिस्ट होगा वो बाकी एब्डोमेन में रहेगा, तो टॉर्जन वेरी हाई चांस ऑफ टॉर्जन इज इन द प्रेगनेंसी, दैट्स व्हाई यू हैव टू रिमूव इट अर्लियर व्हेनेवर इट इज डायग्नोज्ड. और पपीर में क्या होता है टॉर्जन, बिकॉज अचानक से एब्डोमेन में जगह हो गया तो फ्री मूवमेंट की वजह से टॉर्जन का चांस पड़ जाता है. एक हैवी, मान लो तुमने एक पॉलिथीन में, मान लो ये चीज, मान लो ये बैग, ये लंबा डोरी है, इसको फ्री जगह छोड़ दोगे तो घूमेगा तो ऑब्वियसली टॉर्जन का चांस बढ़ जाएगा. वैसे ही परफ्यूम में क्या होता है, बिकॉज देयर इज लार्ज फ्री स्पेस जस्ट आफ्टर डिलीवरी, द चांस ऑफ टॉर्जन इज इंक्रीज्ड in purpurium after postpartum or purpurium. This is a perforated dermoid cyst. Okay, these are the fat. It is the contents is spilled in the abdomen. That's why you can see fat areas in the CT scan. These are the fat. This is the squamous cell carcinoma, malignant transformation within a mature cystic teratoma. It is very rare, one of the rare cases. You don't need to know. DD क्या होगा, हेमोरेजिक सिस्ट हो सकता है, एगोजेनिक बॉबल हो सकता है, परफोरेटेड अपेंडिक्स हो सकता है, ठीक है, एंड ओवेरियन सीरस और म्यूसिनस सिस्ट एडेनोमा या एडेनोकार्सिनोमा हो सकता है. ट्रीटमेंट गोल्स के रिमूवल वेयर पॉसिबल, रिलीफ ऑफ सिम्टम्स, डिपेंड्स ऑन डायग्नोसिस. सर्जिकल एक्सीजन, अगर कैंसरस है तो ऑब्वियसली कीमोथेरेपी भी देना पड़ेगा, कैंसरस नहीं तो जस्ट सर्जिकल एक्सीजन विल डू द जॉब and follow up the patient. Recurrence is very rare and depends on the degree of maturity and the completeness of the resection. It is less than 10% in completely resected mature teratoma and 33% recurrence chances there in the immature teratoma. अच्छा, और रिमूवल में डिफरेंट टाइप्स है, क्या रिमूवल कर सकते हो. One is patient is married, नहीं, say unmarried. Patient is unmarried, same case, pain abdomen, dermoid cyst is there, dermoid cyst size 10 centimeter is there, and there is pain abdomen. So what you will do in this? Ovarian cystectomy. You will only remove the dermoid cyst, preserving the ovary and the, if some part of the ovarian, like one side of the ovary is healthy, like suppose the left side is healthy, you will leave that, you will not do anything to that, and the right side dermoid cyst is present, you will remove the dermoid cyst, and some part of healthy tissue is there, healthy ovarian tissue is there, so you will try to preserve this healthy tissue also. Okay, you will not sacrifice the whole ovary if she is unmarried or family is not completed, so you will try to preserve the healthy tissue also. अगर तुमने थोड़ा सा भी ओवेरियन टिश्यू बचा लिया तो फर्टिलिटी में बहुत हेल्प होता है. और एक वन इज ओवेरियन सिस्टेक्टमी और वन इज ओवरियोटमी और ओफरेक्टमी. If family is completed or you see ki you can't save any tissue, ovarian, healthy ovarian tissue, then you will remove the whole of the ovary. Oophorectomy will be done. And if the family is completed, obviously you can go for oophorectomy. Or if you suspect any cancerous changes is there in that, you will not try to save that tissue. You will remove the whole of the ovary. Okay. And one is ovariopexy. Ovariopexy. What is this? Ovariopexy क्या होता है? Ovariopexy is the fixing the ovaries. Suppose कि while doing laparotomy you saw कि ovary थोड़ा that is bulky ovaries there, and there is chance of torsion, then you will do fixation of the ovary, that is known as ovariopexy. Fix with the surrounding structure or round ligament, you can fix the ovary. That is ovariopexy to minimize the recurrence of the ovarian torsion. And तो क्या क्या ट्रीटमेंट हुआ? Venous ovarian cystectomy. You will go for that. If there is any cancerous in this suspect or there is family is completed, you can straight away go for ovariotomy or oophorectomy. And in any cases, you will not go for, especially in some cases, you will not go for oophorectomy. In which cases? Oophorectomy बिल्कुल नहीं करोगे. If opposite side ovary is not there, suppose patient का ectopic pregnancy का history है, one side is sacrificed already, she has only one ovary with dermoid cyst, so you will try to save the ovarian tissue. If infertility का patient है, if she has not conceived yet, there is no living issue, so you will try to save that ovarian tissue. अगर सस्पेक्ट भी करो तब भी सेव करोगे इस केसेस में, इनफर्टिलिटी पेशेंट में या फैमिली नॉट कंप्लीटेड, ठीक, उस केसेस में सेव करोगे बस. अच्छा, यहाँ आ जाओ, इस बार थोड़ा पास आ जाओ. थोड़ा पास से देखने को दिखेगा नहीं कुछ भी, इसमें ऐसे बहुत मुश्किल है देखना. ये मोस्ट प्रोबेबली टूथ और हेयर्स दिख रहे हैं तुम लोग को, और भी थे. एक्चुअली दिस इज अ laparoscopically done procedure, that's why some the tissue has been lost. Hairs were already more of the hairs were present. देख पा रहे हो तो पास आके खड़े हो जाओ. लास्ट मोस्ट ऑफ द टॉपिक इज कंप्लीटेड, बस इसको देखना है मेनली. देख लो नहीं तो बाद में समझ नहीं आएगा. ये हेयर्स है, ये जो दिख रहे हैं हेयर स्ट्रैंड्स दिख रहे हैं, और ये ऊपर वाला पार्ट, इधर वाला पार्ट, ये दिख रहा है, ये वाला, ये सॉलिड एरिया है. ये तुम्हारा रोकेरियंस की ट्यूबरकल है, और इसमें टूथ का ये जो ऊपर दिख रहा है ये टूथ का एरिया है. ये तुम लोग देख लियो, तुम लोग को दिख रहा है ये वाला सॉलिड एरिया है, उधर हेयर्स हैं दिख रहे हैं तुम लोग को, दिखा ये वाला सॉलिड एरिया है, ये वाला सॉलिड एरिया है रोकेरियंस की ट्यूबरकल. अगर इंटैक्ट होता तो वो वाला पार्ट रोकेरियंस की ट्यूबरकल बोलते हैं हम लोग. इंटैक्ट नहीं है पूरा, तो अभी ऐसे समझना होगा, ठीक है. और इसमें दिस इज वेरी बैड स्पेसिमेन, नॉट गुड स्पेसिमेन, बट जो है उसी में काम अभी चलाना पड़ेगा जब तक अरेंज हो. फर्दर मिल जाएगा, होपफुली स्पेसिमेन मिल जाएगा, लेकिन अभी के लिए इसी से देखना होगा, ठीक है. और ये हेयर्स हैं, ठीक है. और इसमें सेबेशियस जो मटेरियल था दैट वाज सेबेशियस, बट दैट हैज बीन लॉस्ट ड्यूरिंग द सर्जरी. सेबेशियस येलोइश सेबेशियस मटेरियल था इसमें. और ये थोड़ा सा तुम रेडिश स्ट्रक्चर दिख रहा है यहाँ पे, ये रेडिश, ये पार्ट ऑफ मसल, ये रेडिश दिख रहा है, ये रेडिश. मतलब डिफरेंट कंपोनेंट्स हैं होते हैं ओवेरियन में. एक जस्ट वाइट या जस्ट सिस्टिक नहीं होगा. तुमने सेरस म्यूसिनस देखा था लास्ट बार नहीं देखा था एसडीडी में? स्पेसिमेन नहीं देखा था लास्ट टाइम? क्या पढ़ाया था? हाँ तो देखा नहीं स्पेसिमेन. हाँ तो उसमें there was no different components, लेकिन ये this is a dermoid cyst, that is why different components are there. Hair is there, sebaceous material is there, fat is there, this reddish material is like muscle, reddish, ये reddish, यहाँ पे जो reddish, ये जो लटक रहा है दिख रहा है, ये वाला, और hairs हैं. That's why it is dermoid cyst, composed of different germ cells, or the totipotent germ cells बोल सकते हो, totipotent stem cells. All the three germ lines are present in this one single cyst. अच्छा, तुम्हारा अगर डिफरेंशिएट करने बोला जाए म्यूसिनस जो तुमने स्पेसिमेन देखा और इसमें, क्या बोलोगे डिफरेंस? अगर दोनों स्पेसिमेन सामने रख दिया जाए, डिफरेंस क्या बोलोगे? हाँ, फर्स्ट एंड foremost is size. Is much larger, this is much smaller, ठीक है. Then second is your unilocular, multilocular, that is bilateral, that was also unilateral, that mucinous. And components, here teeth and different components are there. Their content was only mucinous content was there, okay, in the mucinous cyst. And that is malignancy is more common in mucinous as compared to the dermoid cyst. Malignancy is very less common, of 1 to 2%, or in points you can say. ठीक. और मैनेजमेंट क्या करोगे अगर वो मोस्टली इन केस ऑफ dermoid cyst we do ovarian cystectomy and in mucinous cyst adenocarcinoma अगर है तो हम लोग we straight away go for total abdominal hysterectomy plus BSO bilateral salpingo-oophorectomy if family is completed. If family is not completed, only mucinous cyst adenoma is there, then we will go for ovarian oophorectomy, not cystectomy or oophorectomy. Normally we go for oophorectomy. One side of the ovary is totally sacrificed because the pregnant transformation is very common in that. ठीक है? Completed.